Before leaving, Caroline saw Ben's desperate look outside, reminding her of her witty dad, so she reconsidered. The next day, he approached Luke with a photo of Grillo, like a lost child, only to be told that these witchcraft rituals were a party gimmick. Believe it or not, it didn't matter. Luke advised Caroline to relax and work hard. After her sweet talk, he agreed to take her to meet the last caregiver. Upon meeting, the caregiver excitedly told him Ben's stroke was magical, but due to his terrifying wife, later suggesting he flee ASAP. Plus, there were tales about the Sicilian couple that sounded like a fairy tale gone wrong. They even learned a skill for immortality, but the catch was that rumor had it that this immortality spell only lasted for a brief time and required constant donations of others' life force to keep going, and frankly, it made you skim. So Caroline clung to hope, believing Ben wanted to escape because later was setting an enthusiastic trap. Back home, Caroline had a bright idea, adding urine to the tea. Later sipped and dramatically collapsed. Realizing she had been played, later fumbled in her pocket for a protective talisman, but Caroline, acting like a thief, immediately snatched it away from her. He dashed upstairs and found the very sheet that Ben used to call for help hidden in the cupboard. It was a dramatic reveal, the truth hiding in this prank. To his horror, he also discovered a clump of his own hair in there. It seemed later's hospitality was a bit more than he bargained for. After piecing it all together, Caroline resolved to make a run for it with Ben that night, but the house's fate clearly had other plans for them. Later was already wary and pre-locked the door, truly a thoughtful wife, leaving them no chance. Caroline felt desperate, while later woke, merrily roaming with a shotgun. Caroline, in a panic, attempted to crash the car into the iron door, but what a total flop. This thing was tougher than he thought. Realizing that dragging Ben along was futile, Caroline switched on his cleverness and hid Ben in an empty room. After a chaotic chase, Caroline managed to drift away on a rickety boat, escaping the eerie house. Then he found Luke and spilled all the shocking truths, only for Luke to remain utterly unfazed, as if it was just another Tuesday. Just then, later called. Luke spun away like a New Year's Eve firework, not revealing Caroline's whereabouts. Then Caroline noticed his desk covered in photos, like a stock celebrity eerie. Even scarier, the drawer key called like a ghostly whisper, and Caroline suddenly realized she was in deep trouble. But it was too late. Luke gave Caroline a warm embrace from behind, and down he went, out cold. Luke and later were in coats. When Caroline woke up, she was back with her hero Luke. Under later's pressing interrogation, Caroline revealed Ben's hiding spot or faced the consequences. But after later left, Caroline hid in a room, thinking him clever, more like a punchline. He decided to sprinkle brick dust to deter enemies, but alas, his plan was too slow. In a tangle of struggle, later was tripped by Caroline, losing her combat abilities, while Caroline excitedly snuck away. He quickly called the police, but later cut the line like a bomb, leaving things awkward. Caroline kept running and, in the attic, remembered the talisman from later. It might save him. He quickly set up the talisman according to the instructions, hoping it would keep later at bay, but it wasn't long before she charged back. Later appeared on the scene and unexpectedly shouted at Caroline, "I just gave you that talisman." The progression of the scene's plot was truly beyond anticipation. "That circle only protects you. I'll meet you again and finish you after you leave," she screamed. "Don't come back, because it'll be waiting for you. Bring popcorn and a drink. You must believe. If you don't, you'll fail. I'm definitely not buying into that." Coming up is the spine-tingling scene as Caroline wakes up to discover that the soul inside him is no longer his own. It turns out they are not lawyers, but Cecily and Jasper, sorcerers burned alive. What a ridiculous twist. They had been using their evil sorcery to siphon others' life forces from mortality, and Caroline was their target from this. You might wonder how Cecily and her partner could be doing this despite being dead. The truth is they already swapped souls ages ago. It turned out the burned ones were the banker's children, whom they borrowed identities from. Such a method was chilling, and the next day a horde of police arrived after Caroline's call for help. Yet no one realized that Caroline before them had changed. He was not just speechless, but paralyzed. This scene mirrored Ben's initial fate, with transformed Caroline and Ben being rushed to the hospital together. Meanwhile, Cecily and her partner pretended to take on new identities, staying in the house, patiently awaiting the next. Do you think making a fantastic sci-fi thriller requires massive budgets and grand productions? Think again. This Hollywood director demonstrates that low budgets can yield mind-blowing masterpieces, as he managed to create this with a mere $36 million. This film hopefully tells a story so convincing that it's worth every Chinese director taking notes. The story begins on a moving train, where a man abruptly wakes up looking utterly lost, as if he's just won the lot. He doesn't know why he's there, and strangely, the woman calls him Shun, leaving him awkwardly puzzled. At that moment, a passing passenger accidentally spills coffee on his shiny shoes, and boy, he's just having a bad day. Before he can fully comprehend what is happening, the conductor unexpectedly begins checking tickets. Yet he can't recall when exactly he purchased one.